beautiful soul, welcome back to another video here on my channel. If you are new, hi, my name is Natalie and this is Be a Free Spirit. The focus on this channel is to bring the unconsciousness to the light to guide you through ascension. So I focus a lot on the self-love, self-awareness, self-growth, anything to do with the self. So if that's something that interests you and you haven't already subscribed, then consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. Do post about 2 to 3 times a week. So today's reading is a little bit of like a career guidance reading. So this will kind of give you some clarity on where your strengths are so you can really apply that into your life and whatever career you're seeking, and basically whatever career would be a good fit for you. So these strengths are really based off of the strengths that you were given and the gifts that you were given based on your soul mission. So the two do really intercombine, but you don't have to have how you gain your abundance, right? It doesn't have to be your soul mission, but it can be helpful to at least see the strengths and gifts that you possess to see if they do intertwine. So that's kind of a little bit of an overview. I'm really excited because I got these new archetype cards, so we'll definitely be able to get some pretty in-depth information on to give you direction on where to go if you're not sure if you're in the right career or if you're not sure where to go next, or just kind of trying to get more guidance on what should I do with my life. So before we jump into the close-up of the decks, I definitely just want to mention that if there's anything in this reading that doesn't resonate, could be that message wasn't meant for you. This is a reading for the collective, so just take what resonates and leave the rest. I also like to add on my channel that you may not be directed to every pick a card reading that I upload at this point in your journey, and if that's the case, just trust your intuition. I completely trust you guys. I trust your intuition. So just listen to it and it will guide you to what is meant for you. Now, with all that out of the way, let's jump straight into a close-up of the decks. All right, so here we have a close-up of the decks. This is pile 1. This is honey calcite. This is pile 2. This is aqua aura quartz. This is pile 3. This is flame aura quartz. And this is pile 4. This is peach moonstone. All right, so as usual, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys 30 seconds to meditate with those piles, and then we'll jump straight into the reading. All right, hopefully that gave you guys a moment to meditate with those piles. Timestamps are listed down below for your group. All right, group 1, welcome to your reading. Let's jump straight into it and see. So the first cards are basically gonna give me an idea of your strengths, okay? And then these cards are gonna give us a little bit more information on that. Then we have some guidance from your ancestors on your career and soul path, as well as just anything else your spiritual team wants you to know about this. So we got quite a few things going on. And then I'm also gonna pull some of these cards live just to get any last messages. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so these are your strengths. So the first one we have is the thief, okay? So we're kind of looking at the light attributes here, because when you think about archetypes, especially with this deck, it's kind of channeling the higher self and the shadow self, right? So because any archetype can have good and bad traits, right? Because there's really no such thing as negative emotions or negative things. It's just there's different things. And so we have thief. And so it says, sheds light on potential wealth within you that has never been stolen. So something about one of your strengths is almost that you don't get jaded. You don't get jaded very easy. It seems like you've been through a lot in your life and maybe a lot has been taken from you. And because of that, you don't get jaded. You don't really be like, oh, kind of like woe is me type of attitude. You just keep going. And there's a lot of things that's a lot of like willpower, right? That's a lot of grit. So that's a huge strength that you have. What can like manifest for this, you know, that you just want to be aware of is the opposite of this could be that because you haven't really been jaded, there could be times where you just don't really give out as much emotional or heartfelt energy to kind of protect yourself. So it's just kind of something to keep this strength in balance, right? So, but this is one of your strengths is I think you're really good at being able to be like, okay, this just almost accepting too things is what I'm hearing specifically with that. We also have Deliante, so delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Yeah, exactly. Like you don't feel the need to have to go traditional routes. You don't feel the need to have to do things how people would perceive that to be. So you're very creatively gifted, and that doesn't have to be just artistic. Creative comes in many different forms. So you're able to really create something without the idea of like, okay, I have to go down a traditional way or I have to do this a certain way. You have just almost like a very unique, individualistic kind of perspective on life and the way that you do things. So those are two of your strengths. Let's see what else we got. We have the child wounded. So awakens compassion and desire to serve others. Open the learning to the path of forgiveness. Yeah, and maybe that could be why you don't get jaded, right? Because you have been hurt in your life, it seems like, and maybe that's something that you learned unconsciously through your childhood. But this is a strength as well because you want to kind of open yourself up, right? Like, because being a, wounded child, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have had hardships in your childhood, but I think for the majority of you did, right? And unconsciously your mind, right, just basically created these different ways of kind of living and existing, right? Because that's what the mind does, is the mind kind of comes up with ways, okay, how can we survive? So when you're a child, you're taking in everything, right? And so, but you're open, you've always had just kind of an open heart, like almost like you wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit, like you just don't get jaded. That's just what I've heard for all the shit that you've been going through. And that's a huge strength because it's really hard to not feel jaded when you go through a lot of shit in your life. So you're open to kind of just helping people, right? You're open to maybe helping other people heal, to forgiveness. There's just a lot of openness. Like, that's what I'm getting. And then the last strength we have is visionary. Yeah, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willing to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Yeah, see, because you don't see things in a traditional way, you're basically a visionary, right? You're a pioneer of ideas or things that people haven't thought of, which is probably why you have this kind of overall strength of not being jaded, of kind of not letting things really take you down, right? You're very resilient, which is amazing, really beautiful. And so when you look at these strengths, you want to think about, okay, what strengths does this possess, right? You have a huge strength that all kind of tie in with each other, where you're not meant to follow a traditional path, okay? So when you're thinking about career, if you're already in a career or if you're looking for a new career, whatever it is, what Spirit is trying to tell you is you have to realize you are a visionary. You're going to share ideas that people have never even come up with yet, that people have never even thought of. And sometimes when you're in a traditional work environment or a traditional kind of space, those ideas aren't always welcomed, right? But again, you're very creative, and that could be the way that you share these visionary ideas, through some kind of creative output. So if you're in a career that's not utilizing these strengths, Spirit is definitely encouraging you to take a look at what these strengths are and start incorporating them into a new career, into a way that you can be serving the collective, because that's really what you're here to do, especially with this child wounded, right? It's almost like maybe for all the pain that you've been through, that's going to be part of what you express through a creative form, right? And you're here to help people, other people feel loved and other people feel supported. Let's see what else we have compared to this. So you have bone collector. Yeah, I just get with this, like you, again, like you've just been through a lot of shit. Like you've been through a lot, you know, and you're aware of these things, right? Where some people who, you know, some humans who get like jaded by some of the trauma that they've been through, they aren't aware of it usually, right? They're kind of like, in the sense of like, when things happen, you know, they're like, why is this happening to me? But they don't really try to see past what is actually happening. Why is this happening? Okay, this could be happening for a reason. Am I not in my alignment? Whatever the case is, most humans aren't able to do that. But you have kind of always been aware of what is going on and why things happen. And that's just what I'm getting. It's because it's almost like you're collecting this knowledge of your past and using it to your advantage to push yourself forward, right? Ooh, yeah. And then we have spark. Yeah, spark, creative spark, right? You just have something, this card kind of speaks to me in that sense too. It can be a little hard to see, but you know, there's this person and she's kind of holding on to just like these children, right? But I just see this spark. And that's what I think it is it's for people, you bring this energy that is fresh, that is new, and that's why you're a visionary, because people are going to be drawn to your energy. People are going to be very inspired by how with the things that you've been through in your life. They're going to be inspired by how you've been so resilient for everything that you've gone through in your life. And again, like that might be part of what you're supposed to do as far as sharing those stories and helping other people heal, right? Bringing that spark of healing, bringing that spark of inspiration, bringing that spark of new ideas, right? There could be a lot of different messages, so just kind of take it as it resonates, but these are your strengths. So you definitely want to be in a career that is utilizing these strengths, because as I said in the beginning, these strengths and gifts were given to you to fulfill your soul purpose, right? And to help you here on earth. So you want to make sure that you're using these strengths. Otherwise, you're not in you're in alignment, right? And then you might feel lost, right? And you just won't feel as fulfilled. So again, you want to be looking for something that is allowing you to basically have the creative freedom, to have the freedom to speak your mind, to create things, right? However it resonates. You might want to be an entrepreneur, right? Where you have the freedom to really do anything that you desire, or just an environment that allows you to have that freedom, right? And allows you to really use your visionary ideas and just this creativeness that you possess, because you have more than like one creative gift, because you see she has like multiple arms, and so it's like you have just so much ability to make people feel inspired and healed through just your words, through your work, through your creative expression. Because look at this as well, like she's playing a violin, right? But look at all this like beautiful energy that's kind of coming out because of it. So that's what I mean, like creative doesn't mean artistic. Creative can be music, creative can be writing, creative can be anything. So you have a huge creative gift to share. Oof. All right, let's see what your ancestors kind of want to say about your gifts and just about your career, and just some advice to kind of help you with this. We have peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Yeah, I think it's not so much like let go of the need to be right, but like just peacemaker, in the sense that you're meant to be in a very calm and again open area, in an open environment. That's what I meant to say. You know, a career, a workplace that allows you, that does bring you peace, right? Your ancestors are really stressing that if you're in an environment, again, that's traditional, that doesn't allow you to share these ideas, that doesn't allow you to express yourself, then, you know, your guides are saying it's time to kind of step into something that allows you to feel at peace. Because again, your energy is peaceful. Your energy brings peace to people because of your unique situation and what you've been through. I can't stress that enough. So that's what they have to say. Also, trust your instincts, okay? So if you're kind of feeling maybe like, I don't know where to go with this, you know, because I feel like the majority of you, maybe you're in a career right now that is not serving you, right? And that's why you were called to this reading, to kind of get clarity on, okay, what do I need to be pursuing? So your ancestors are saying, follow your intuition, follow your instincts, okay? Because your intuition is very strong, right? With everything that you've been through, you've basically been listening to your intuition your whole life, even if you haven't been aware of it, right? It's been something that you've listened to because you haven't been jaded. And like I said with the bone collector, you've been just very aware of things that have happened in your life, right? You're very aware. And because of that, it's because you're listening to your intuition. And then we have trust and thrive. Exactly. Trust your intuition, right? Your guides are saying, and your ancestors, if you trust your intuition, it's gonna guide you to where this can be fulfilled, right? Because when you're living in your alignment and you're living in your purpose and you're using these gifts, you're going to be thriving. You're going to be happy. You're gonna be feeling this energy all the time, right? Because it's what you're meant to do. It's what you're meant to give to the collective, to the human species. Wow. Trust and thrive. Ignite your passions. Yeah, exactly. Like, you have a passion with something creative. You have a passion with wanting to help people, and you have a way of showing it to the world that's going to be different with the visionary card, right? You have a very unique energy and a very unique perspective. So you want to make sure that you're using that. And so your ancestors are saying, ignite those passions. Again, if you're not in a career that is serving these strengths, it's time to move into something that will, because you don't want to be closing down your energy. It's a very, very powerful energy. Cool. Let's see what else we got. We have a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Ooh. I mean, visionary, right? Like this visionary card, like you have a vision for something. You have a greater vision of how you want to live, how you want. It's almost like you have a vision that I can't even like comprehend, because again, you're a visionary. So it's something that nobody is aware of. You may have past knowledge, right, that you're now here to share through these gifts. And that's why you've been through the things that you've been through in your life, to build the resilience, to share to help other people heal from the wounds that they've gone through, right? And it's just, you're here to be part of this huge shift, right? And that's why we have a new earth, right? Because you're here to help build that vision, because it's happening. Keep holding the vision. Visionary. Like, couldn't be more clear. So whatever, even if you don't know what it is yet, right? Like, even if you don't have this vision in mind, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's gonna come, especially if you put yourself in alignment. If you put yourself in alignment with a career that fulfills every one of these strengths, then you're gonna be able to open the space up, right? Because it's all about space. It's all about making energetic space. Because when you're in peace and you're in this spark alignment, right, and you're just in this energy, you're opening up space to gain what you need to gain, right? So, and then this visionary will come forward and you'll have all these inspired ideas, right? And all these downloads that you'll be able to implement. Oof. And then we have earth, learning how to be human in a world but not of it. Exactly, you're not meant to do something traditional, okay? So if you're in a traditional career, it's really time to think about how you can get out of it, because it's not serving you. It's not where you're meant to be. You're meant to be in a space that makes you feel free. I can't stress that enough. You have to feel free. You have to feel at peace. You have to be able to kind of move with your own energy, because if you're tied down, you're gonna not be able to integrate what you need to integrate, right? And so learning how to be in the world but not part of it. And so you're not meant to be part of society, right? You're not meant to be part of these traditional 9-to-5 jobs. Whew. And then we have jump in, adventure, say yes to change. Exactly, that's a confirmation, right? I think for the majority of you, probably all of you, you're not in a career that inspires you. You're not in a career that puts you in this alignment. And so because of that, Spirit is saying it's time to take that plunge, okay? It's time to trust these messages, okay? Trust, because you have 2 trust cards here. So it's time to trust this message. It's time to trust your instincts. It's time to trust your ancestors, your spiritual team, and take that plunge, okay? Dive into something new. Say yes to a new change. You won't regret it, because it's going to put you in the right alignment, and being in the right alignment only opens more doors for you. Okay. I also want to pull some some energy cards, just to kind of see if there's anything else Spirit wants you to know. All right, last messages for group 1, Spirit, around their career. Around their career. Okay. So this card came out. We have behind the mask. So yeah, exactly, right? Like right now you're in a career that you have to hide a lot of who you are. You have to hide a lot of these strengths, because it's not going to be accepted, right? It's not welcomed. Sometimes, you know, tradition is stuck on just that. This is how we do things. We can't change stuff. We don't want to move forward with something new, because why fix something that's not broken, right? We've all heard that before. But you don't want to live behind this mask, because you're not living in your alignment. You're not living in your true purpose. You're not using these strengths to complete your light work, to live your best life. And then we also have milestone. Yeah, see, you're at a point right now where it's time to make a move. It's time to make a decision. And when you make that choice, when you jump in, as this says, it's gonna be rewarded, right? Because you see there's kind of like this reward, and it's gonna be a huge milestone in your career, in your life, that is gonna bring you a lot of joy and just the alignment piece. And when you're in alignment, I can't stress how important that is, because when you're in alignment, it really allows you to be at your happiest place, right? To have the space to really go after what you want. And then the last card we have is taking steps. You just need to take a step forward, okay? Take a step forward. Follow that intuition, follow those instincts, because doing so is going to allow you to get where you need to go. You don't want to hide behind this mask. Just take the step forward. Spirit will support you, okay? This is a confirmation that you are not in the correct career right now. And so it's time to step forward and be ready for something new, because there's something better out there for you. This is beautiful. All right, group 1, this is your reading. So definitely comment down below and let me know what you think about this, and if there's any careers that come to mind that would support some of these strengths, right? And it might take some time to figure that out, but taking a step forward, just setting the intention to find what is right for you, and ask Spirit for help, right? Ask Spirit, if you're not sure what career to go into based on these strengths, ask Spirit for help. Spirit, what do I do? And Spirit will give you the answer that you seek, okay? But now you have the clarity of knowing where your strengths lie, and so go follow them if you don't already know where to go. Yes, but overall, this is your message. So I will see you guys in the next reading. All right, group 2, welcome to your reading. So the first cards are going to be your strengths. So these are going to kind of help you see what career would be best for you. And then we just have some more information on that. We have some guidance from your ancestors and your spiritual team on your career, and then some last messages. And then I'll also pull some cards live just to see if there's anything else Spirit wants to say. So let's jump straight in and see what your strengths are. we have the artist, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Yeah, artist, right? You definitely have this ability to share this gift of being an artist, right? Through some artistic medium, you inspire other people. And that's what's so powerful about art is like any kind of other medium, right? So think about like tarot, right? Like again, like this reading won't apply to everyone, just like your art won't appeal to everyone, but that's the point, because there is going to be a collective of people who your art is really going to touch, okay? So you have a huge strength of being an inspiring artist who really speaks to people's souls directly, okay? And then we have child nature, friendships with animals, communication with nature spirits. Yeah, so you've always been very connected to something higher, because that's also what this card says, is expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses. So it's, again, your art is not just, oh, I painted a picture of, you know, whatever. It's, your art is literally your soul, like printing, right, on something that is gonna, almost like encoded, right, almost like codes that are gonna just speak to people's souls. That's like really what I'm getting. And you've always been connected to nature, right? So you almost have like this childlike kind of inspiration or wonder that is alive within you that really comes through your art. And this is such a huge strength, because having childlike energy and being connected to your inner child allows you to be in this wonder, allows you to express your soul without your ego coming through and being like, this isn't good enough, you should do it this way. You're able to express yourself, and that is a huge strength, because again, your art really speaks to people's souls. I'm just getting that with codes. I'm getting codes. Your art's like encoded. Even if you don't realize it, it's your soul directly expressing. Woo! And then we have destroyer, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. Yeah, I think like, because what I'm getting is, I think if you notice something is not right in your life, you're very quickly to be like, this is not going to affect my life. And that makes sense, because as it just seems like ever since you're a child, you've always been connected to a higher power. You've always been connected to spirit, right? And you've always been open to it your whole life, with this child nature card. And just in general, right? Those are the vibes I'm getting. And so another strength of yours is you're able to release things that you need to very quickly, because you're aware of them, because you've always been conscious with yourself, and you've always kind of listened, right, to your intuition and some of your other senses. So yeah, these are some of your strengths. And so when you think about like, okay, what career could I be in with these strengths? Obviously, something that allows you to artistically express yourself, right? And that can come in a lot of ways, because there's a lot of different art mediums. But again, whatever art you produce is filled with encoded messages that just help other souls, inspire them, make them, you know, maybe see things in your art, right? Feel things in your art. It's really that powerful. So I think it's pretty straightforward here that you need to be in a career where you can be creative, that you can really share these encoded, beautiful, inspiring messages through a beautiful art medium. So if you're not already in a career that's serving this, Spirit is saying these are your strengths, and you definitely want to be in a career that does fulfill this, so you can be in alignment with your soul. And then we have deep freeze. Yeah, I'm kind of getting like, I feel like with this, you know, Spirit, I don't think you're in a career that is fulfilling this right now. I feel like you're very in touch with this side of yourself. It's probably a hobby, right? It's something that you do all the time, but you don't realize that your art can affect other people. And so it's almost like with this deep freeze, it's like the energy is not necessarily frozen because you're using it for you, but it's frozen in the sense that it's not being shared with other people. It's not being shared with other souls who are needing these encoded messages. Ooh. And then we have goblins. Interesting. Yeah, like nature, like this kind of goes along with this card, right? And so it's almost like I'm kind of like just getting specifically with this card, kind of ignoring like the goblins title, right? Just looking almost like at the images. I think maybe going into nature might give you a little bit more inspiration or downloads on how to kind of move forward with, you know, how to get your art noticed, right? Whether that is creating a space where people can visually see it, right? Or selling prints or like whatever it is, right? But there's something about connecting to nature. You have a very deep connection with nature. And so with this card, you can just kind of see there's all these creatures like in the forest, right? And it's kind of just because you've always been able to see more, right? You've always been able to use that third eye ever since you were a child. And so you've been able to always see more things. And so it's just almost like what I'm getting is, again, encoded messages. So maybe spending time in nature often, like going out into nature weekly. Oh, I get it. Okay, going into nature like often, like weekly at least, every 5 days maybe, right? Because there's a 5 on this card. Like at least weekly. The reason why this is so important, because connecting to nature, you're basically getting those encoded messages. Again, even if you don't realize that's what's happening, you may not directly hear, you know, or see or whatever of what you're actually, what your soul is actually basically encoding into your art, but it's just an energetic thing. By you spending time in nature and you connecting with this really deep relationship that you have with Mother Nature, it allows you to get those encoded messages. What? That is so cool. And then we have slow and steady. Yeah, just taking things slow and steady, which is funny because with this destroyer, right? It's like, it's almost like a different energy. But I think Spirit is just saying, it's almost like finding the right fit for you. That's kind of what I'm getting is, you want to find the right fit on how to express yourself, okay? How to express this artistic side of yourself. You want to take it slow to find the right fit. I think that's like what Spirit is saying, is it's really important to figure out, does this fit me, right? Does this make me feel alive? Because there could be tons of ways that you're expressing this art, right? Tons of ways that you're, different types of careers that you could be expressing this through. There's so much out there. And so take your time to really figure out what the right fit is, okay? Let's see what your ancestors have to say. Just some more guidance around your career. We have Sky Father, trust in the unknown. Yeah, so I think that's why they're saying, you know, take your time. But your Spirit wants you to explore tons of different options. Tons of different ways to put your art out there, tons of different career options that allow you to express this, okay? Just take your time to really see what feels right, because you'll know. You're really connected to yourself, right? Like in the sense that your intuition has always been a very strong part of you. And so with the Sky Father, it's trust in the unknown and just trust that intuition, but you gotta follow that, right? You gotta follow kind of your bliss, because right now, again, like your codes are in a deep freeze right now, and Spirit wants them to come out because it's time. You know, it's time for these codes to be given. That is so amazing that that is what's coming through, but that's really what I see. Wow. And then we have be graceful in movement and action. Yeah, see, like again, just balance, kind of like with the slow and steady, right? Like your spiritual team just wants you to kind of take a moment and just kind of slowly move to different options, slowly try out different things and just kind of see what sticks, right? I think you're a very patient person. I really feel like almost like a nurturing energy here, right? Especially being so connected to Mother Gaia. I feel like you have just a patience. So use that too, because Spirit wants you to take your time to find the right fit, to find the right way to share these encoded messages. And then we have Hunter, track down your fears and desires. I mean, that's perfectly with the Destroyer card, right? So if you're having fears around like sharing your art, right? Because I feel like a lot of you maybe don't share it. Again, it's maybe like a hobby thing. And maybe you didn't realize the power that your art holds, but it holds a lot of power, right? A lot of power. And so your spiritual team is saying track down and kind of just pay attention. And that's why going slow and steady is going to be helpful. But just pay attention about what are you fearing, right? What are you desiring? Whatever the case is, because once you figure out your fears, you can destroy them because you possess that, right? You possess that strength to be able to see what is no longer serving you and be like, bye. So that is amazing. Okay, let's see what else we got. Child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. Yes, exactly, the encoded messages. Literally, you have encoded messages that are from the universe, right? You could call it light codes. I think it could just be lots of different codes, right? That are just gonna speak to people's soul. That's really all it is. And so the intelligence of the universe lies within you. And that's why Spirit is saying this is really important, that you find the correct thing that feels right for you, the correct way to express these codes, to express this art, so that you can do what you're meant to do, right? And it's time to come out of this deep freeze, in other words. Because when I keep seeing this card, again, it's not that you're in a freeze, it's that these codes have been in a freeze until now. It's time to awaken them. So this is a confirmation for sure. Oh, I love that. Okay. And then we have the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Yeah, devotion, right? It's, you want to be in this energy of following your bliss, right? Following these amazing codes that you have to share through something just so beautiful. So devote yourself to following what it is that you love, right? And expressing how you want to express yourself. And then Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, higher learning. So yeah, again, like this I think is going to be a huge confirmation that is going to awaken just this gift in you, right? This gift of giving codes to people. And you know, that's why you're here on Earth, is because these codes, especially during this time, are meant to speak to people's souls directly, to cause healing, to cause integration, to cause disruption. I think it's dependent on anybody, right? And so you could also, with this destroyer energy, you could say this is one of your strengths, and your codes destroy negative mindsets for people, destroy things in people's lives, not in a negative way, in a positive way. And it's crazy how the energy will work like that, but it really is going to be like that, as people are just going to be like, and they won't realize it, right? They may not realize, oh my gosh, that person's art like totally made this happen. Like they're not going to know that, but you're going to know that in every art that you produce is going to have an encoded message, and it's going to speak to someone, and just, you can just kind of sit back in peace knowing that's the case. That is so beautiful. Okay, let's pull some last messages and just see if there's anything else that Spirit wants you to know around your career and around just the situation in general. So let's see what we got. Right, Spirit, any last messages for group 2 around your career? Okay, so that's interesting. So we have present power, okay? So yeah, right now, this present moment, okay? And whenever you're watching this is timeless. So whenever you're seeing this, just know it was in divine timing. But with this present power, it's time now, right? Like what we talked about with the deep freeze. It's time now to step into what you're meant to do. This is part of your soul mission, is to provide these encoded messages. So it's time to step into your present power, because that is what you're meant to do, right? Raise your consciousness. And this one was interesting because we have new supportive connections, and then there's like an easel here. So that's why I think Spirit is saying, you know, maybe for you guys, your career is going to be through something, right? Where it's like, maybe for some of you, you are going to be like your own boss, right? In that sense. But I think for some of you, for most of you, you're just going to find the right fit. You're going to find someone who's going to be very supportive, and they may not know directly, right, that your art really provides encoded messages, or maybe they do, right? And I think that's why it's taking the slow and steady route till you find what you want, right? Do you want to be more in a spiritual sense where people are going to be understanding what your art provides, or do you want that to just be something you're aware of? It's really up to you. But I think there's going to be someone in your life, like a boss, right, or someone in your life who's going to be supporting you in kind of pursuing this, right? And I just love seeing kind of the easel, because again, I think it's just a confirmation that I think for a lot of you, you can, it's very possible to find a career that is gonna put you in alignment, okay? You just have to take your time, don't rush it. You'll know when it's right. And then we have hidden motivations, intention. Yeah, so I think that's why they want you to take your time, right? You want to make sure that you're going after the right things, okay? Because hidden motivations in the sense that you don't want to work for someone who doesn't understand what your goals are, what your passions are, and that's why you kind of have to figure that out, right? Of how you want to kind of present your gifts, right? And how you really want to use them. So yeah, and then let's just get one more card, Spirit. Thank you. All right, we have behind the mask. Yeah, so right now you've been, again, just in a place of deep freeze, right? You've kind of been behind the mask of, you don't put your artwork out there, right? Like you don't put it out there. So you've kind of been hiding behind that mask, and Spirit is saying no more. It's time to take it off. It's time for this to thaw, right? It's thawing right now. This like message is causing this kind of catalyst of unthawing, you know, unthawing your potential. It's time to now take action, okay? It's time to go after however you want to express this. Wow, this is beautiful group too. Definitely let me know what you guys think about this down below, and if you have a career in mind maybe that you've been drawn to lately. I feel like some of you could have been getting some insights, or just let me know what you think about this down below. I'd love to hear from you. But this is your message, so leave me a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, group 3, welcome to your reading. Okay, so to kind of start off, these cards are going to give me basically your strengths. So we'll kind of know what your strengths are, and so how you can use them right within your career. And then just some more information on that, some guidance from your ancestors, and then any last messages from Spirit. And then I'll also pull some cards live just to see if there's anything else Spirit wants to say. So let's jump straight into it and see what your strengths are. We have Don Juan spotlights your positive seductive qualities. Okay, so I feel like just kind of with this, you're just really good with people, right? You really understand how to, I guess, sweet talk people, right? And not in a manipulative way, though you could say for like a shadow attribute, right? Like your shadow self could come kind of take advantage of that strength and use it for not good things. But I think for the majority of you, right, it's a strength of just being good with people, being able to make people feel at peace, kind of like schmooze people, right? And then we have trickster, transcending convection, stiffness, and predictable behavior. Yeah, again, like you're really good with people, okay? And these are traits that you're using for positive, right? These are traits that could, you know, the shadow self could take over, right? But for you, they're huge strengths of you know how to help people. You can talk to a person, you can kind of just automatically get what is going on in their life or what they need or whatever the case is, right? But you just understand people and you're just good at seeing things for what they are. And then we have alchemist, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Exactly, you can see things, right? So it's like you can transmute things. And so it's like you're able to see, you can talk to someone and kind of just immediately pick up on their energy and just pick up on things that someone else wouldn't be able to pick up on. And then you can transmute that into, you know, healing, into love, into whatever it is, but you know how to kind of take that energy and kind of twist it, right? In a positive way, right? You're using this all for the sake of your light work. Because these are really, really powerful gifts that people could use for negative aspects. But for you, you see, you connect with people very easily. And so you want to use that to your advantage, right? In the sense of making people feel happy, making people feel uplifted. So you can transmute that. That's kind of just what I'm getting with the alchemist card. And then we have virgin, maintaining symbol Purity of heart and spirit. Exactly. Just kind of confirming, right? Just confirming that, again, these traits are very powerful, and it would be easy for the human, right? The human side of us, the shadow aspect, to take these strengths and these traits and use them for selfish gain, for manipulation, for control, for power, but not you. You have a pure heart, a pure spirit, and that's exactly why Spirit gave you these strengths, because Spirit knew that you would never use these strengths to hurt anyone else. They knew that you would only use these strengths to help other people. Oh, that is so beautiful. I knew I felt that, because I don't want you guys to feel like these are negative traits, because they're not at all. You know, society would be like, oh, but no, you use them for the benefit of all. You use them for the benefit of good. So looking at this, there's a lot you could do with this. Like, sky's kind of the limit, right, on what you could do as far as a career, because you're basically just good with people. You can see where people's needs and pains are and help transmute them, because you offer this energy of love. People trust you. You don't trick them, right? You just allow people to kind of feel loved and supported. So sky's the limit with a lot of different careers. Let's kind of see what else, because it might give us a little bit more, kind of narrow it down. We have magic prayer. Yeah. See, with the alchemist, like, again, I'm just getting, you can transmute energy. So if you want to do something like within a spiritual realm, right? Like, look at Reiki healing, or look at some different energy healings, because that's definitely what you can do. Because that's, even if you don't realize that you possess these gifts, this is going to be a catalyst for you to now be aware of the gifts that you possess, because you have the ability to transform energy. You have the ability to see energy really clearly from other people and transmute it. Yeah, transmuting energy is like the most beautiful thing, because if you look at these two cards, you can kind of see, you know, it just looks like there's energy going around her. Like, she's just kind of transmuting. Like, she's just kind of transmuting the energy that's happening, right? And this kind of too, right? You're transmuting it through love, through support, through encouragement. And that's how people feel around you. And so, you know, you may want to do something where I'm kind of like getting psychology, right? Like, maybe helping people who come in for healing, right? Or again, like I said, something more spiritual, like Reiki healing or energy healing. We also have education. Okay, so kind of almost like, okay, almost maybe you could too want to like educate people on how to transmute their own energy, right? Or how to maybe understand themselves, right? Maybe you have a way of helping people kind of see who they are, right? Could be through like tarot, right? Like, really, sky is the limit. When I say that, it's sky's the limit. You have a lot of options. It's really just whatever calls to you, but it has to be in your alignment, right? You have to have the freedom to work with people, to see their energy, and to heal it how you feel is the right way to do it, right? So education. We also have filled of dreams. Wow, this is some beautiful energy. I think you just help people feel so uplifted. If you already don't know this about yourself, you do now. Your energy is really powerful, okay? So when you walk into a room, you can basically impact the energy of that room. And so because you're living out of love and support and just everything beautiful, because you're living out of this high vibration, you just make people feel uplifted. Like I said, this gift that you possess of seeing people clearly just makes people feel uplifted. So you can help people find their dreams, right? So maybe a life coach would call to you. Really just anything to do with people that help them feel amazing, that help them feel uplifted, that help them feel happy. That is what you're meant to do, and there's tons of ways to go about it. And we have coming to life. Wow. This is powerful, because this is basically what you do for people. I want to think that you're like the little butterfly down here. Do you see that little butterfly? You're like the butterfly that's like flying around them, like energetically, just helping them come to life, right? Basically breaking down the ego statue. And they're coming to life, and they just feel so like uplifted and powerful and empowered, and you're just a little butterfly going around them being like, I got you, I got you. And people just feel very drawn to you. You probably have a lot of people in your life who probably a lot of friends, right? Or just a big social life. And if you don't, then it's time to realize who you really are. It's time for you to come to life, right? And this is a catalyst if you haven't already, because you have some very powerful energy to give to people and to help a lot of people. And wow, yeah, again, like there's just so many ways to do that. Let's see what your ancestors have to say, kind of some guidance around this. We have medicine garden, be open to healing information. Okay, so with that education, now I'm kind of getting definitely something to do with healing, okay? So however that resonates for you, healing, spiritual healing, physical healing, however, you know, you feel really called to it, you're meant to heal. You're meant to heal energy. You're meant to heal pain. You're meant to just help people feel their best. And that can come in a lot of ways. That is so beautiful. Yeah, be open to healing information. Okay, so if you aren't sure how to heal people or how you want to do that, be open to spirit bringing you basically kind of giving you insights on how you can heal people, because you might get some downloads or some insights on, okay, this is how I can help people. This is how I can heal people, because it may not be in a traditional way that you think. There's tons of ways that we can heal people energetically, but a lot of it is energetic. And so that's why I said kind of something like Reiki healing maybe, or just energy healing in general might call to you. So, but definitely something with healing. And then we have summer, bask in joy and light. Yeah, I think I'm just getting with that. Like your spiritual team is just saying, you just have such a beautiful energy to you, right? Just this kind of pure love and this pure joy, this just energy that you give to people. You're basically like summer, right? People just feel happy around you. People just feel, again, directed to you. People feel in your presence, they just feel uplifted, and you might not even realize that that's what your energy does, but it really does without you having to do anything. Simply because of the gifts that you possess, simply because you can see people, your soul like kind of reacts based on, you know, someone who's around you. They'll automatically kind of just do what needs to be done energetically, and these people just feel safe and uplifted and held, right? Wow, that's beautiful. And then we have direction guardian, choose your path. Exactly. You have a ton of options here. Like sky is really the limit, you know. I think we've narrowed it down to specifically healing, right? I think healing is really what spirit is saying is kind of the way that you're meant to help people and why you have these gifts. So we've narrowed it down to that, but there's still tons of different ways that you can heal people. So you have some different directions to go. And what I'm getting with this is if you choose one, it doesn't mean that you have to stick to that forever. Okay, I feel like that's important to say, because you do have, maybe you're called to a lot of different options, right? Like with this card, like the Field of Dreams, there's like 4 eggs here, right? Well, there's more than 4, but I see like 4 big eggs. And so it's like, again, like kind of 4 directions, right? You have a lot of different doors that you can open, but don't feel like just because you open one, the other one's shut forever. They don't. It could be that you're meant to heal people in one way for a while, and then as you progress and as you change and as you unlock more of your healing abilities, you might figure out new ways to heal, or you want to go down a different path, and you can do that. Just take the path that feels right to you at this moment in time. Don't stress about what you don't know, okay? I mean, Spirit is saying open yourself to spiritual, or you know, to healing education, spiritual healing education, and holistic health, you know, or healing education, and you'll learn what you need to do. So just open a door. That's all you need to do, and it will allow more doors to appear, and you'll know which ones to open. So don't feel like if you go down one path that another one is going to shut, because that's not the case for you personally. Ooh, this is beautiful. All right, let's see what else Spirit has to say. Big picture thinking, visionary, inspired ideas. Yeah, so whatever you kind of are inspired by right now when it comes to healing, okay? Well, if the thought of Reiki excites you, or if the thought of just a different type of holistic healing excites you, then go for it. Go for it, because And look at that, it's a door. Like, it's a doorway, right? Like, just walk through the door. That's all you need to do. Everything else will come out in alignment as it needs to. Don't overthink, I don't know enough. I don't know how to heal people. What are you talking about? And like I said, you already do it. That's the thing, is your energy already does it. You've probably healed a lot of people in your life without you even knowing it. Ooh, that's beautiful. Okay, big picture thinking. Where are you being called to journey to? Exactly, what is calling you when it comes to healing right now at this point? Where are you being called? Think about it. Really ponder with it and sit with it and ask Spirit for some more clarity if you're still feeling lost and you're still feeling confused. Magic prayer, right? Like, ask Spirit for some clarity and they will help open that door and help clear the pathway to the door if you don't already see it. Beautiful. Star Brothers, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Exactly. That's what you make people feel. You just make people feel safe. You make people feel loved, and people just trust you. People trust you. And that is just so beautiful and amazing. And I feel like I can feel the energy. Like, I feel happy, and like I feel just like, wow, just because of the energy that you provide. Like, just by you watching this, realize the power you have, the power that you have to help people, to lift people up. It's beautiful to be able to do something like that. And so that's the thing, is you just make people feel safe. That's just like the biggest thing, is people feel like maybe they know you already, right? Like, I feel like I know you, or I connect so well with you. And it's because you're just meant to connect with so many people and meant to help so many people. And then we have you got the love, codependency, boundaries. Okay, not codependency, but boundaries I think is an important one. And I'm glad Spirit brought this up, because I think this is important if you are pursuing something to do with healing. You have to make sure that you protect your own energy. Okay, so make sure that as you're choosing a path, that you create boundaries for yourself. Okay, you create boundaries where you know that if your energy is depleted, how are you going to heal people if your energy battery is depleted? So you may need to choose a career that gives you more flexibility, a healing career that gives you flexibility to take the time to recharge your battery if you need to, right? So keep that in mind as you're kind of looking for something. Okay, what should I do to heal people? Something that kind of gives you that ability to say, I need to take a break from this for a second, so that you can kind of regain that battery, because if you don't, then you won't be able to heal people, right? Your energy directly heals people. So if you are not recharged and you are not refilled, right? Like filling back up your cup, then you can't heal people. So I'm glad Spirit brought this up, because that's super important. You don't want to overexert yourself. Even though you have a lot to give, you can't overexert yourself. You have to know your limits. You have to know your boundaries. And it's not about limits, like, oh, this is as far as I can go. The more that you practice and the more that you learn about how to heal and different ways to heal, it will be easier for you to kind of move with the energy. But as you're getting started, just be patient with yourself and set up the boundaries so that you don't burn out yourself, so you don't get disappointed, so you don't get overwhelmed. You don't want that, right? Honor self, honor higher self. That's beautiful. Wow. Let's pull some of these cards live just to see if there's anything else that Spirit wants you to know. Okay. Last messages for group number 3. Last messages for group number 3. Last messages. Okay, so the first card that came out is a consciousness of lack. So I think what they're just saying about this is, I think it comes with the boundaries card, is it's just kind of confirming you don't want to get your energy so depleted that it's kind of like this, right? Where you're just like, and your heart is just kind of like, just hard in the sense of there's just no energy flowing through it, right? That's just what I'm getting with this card specifically. It could be also that maybe you feel like oh, like, I don't know how I'm gonna make money doing this, right? And you're kind of in that mindset of lack. But I think for the majority of you, it's just a confirmation to remember to protect your heart, your boundaries, your energy, because that heart of yours provides so much healing power. So you wanna make sure you're taking care of yourself, okay? You're taking care of your heart, your energy, so that you can give to people. That's more what I'm getting with that. Okay. And then we have courage. Yeah, just take a step forward, right? Like, have the courage to know that you're amazing, you're spectacular, you provide people, you're gonna help so many people, okay? So just have the courage to step forward. And again, for a lot of you, I'm feeling like you don't think you have the right knowledge or the right information, and that's not the case. You're gonna gain it as you go, okay? Because you have two confirmations here of be open to healing information, be open to things, and they're gonna come as they need to. You have everything that you need right now to get started. So Spirit is saying take the courage to step forward, because you have everything you need to get started. And as you're getting started, you're learning more, you're gaining more, you're doing everything you need to do, but you can't get there until you take a step forward. And then we have great achievement. Yeah, this healing people is going to bring you so much abundance, so much fulfillment for you, right? Because of your strengths of knowing people so deeply, you're definitely probably an empath for sure. And that's why boundaries could be even more important, right? Because you can feel people's emotions, almost kind of like just being like, I know exactly what they're going through. And so it's important to find boundaries for yourself, and do a lot of like healing for yourself too, of how to heal your own energy so you're not mixing other people's energy with yours. I feel like that's actually super important, because I think, and that's what comes with the boundaries, right? Is you have to honor yourself and your own energy, otherwise you can't help anybody else. So if you are an empath, finding new ways to being open to healing information, as you're learning how to heal other people, also learn about how you can heal yourself, right? How you can protect your energy, how you can refill your cup faster, easier, whatever the case is, right? But great achievement through this. Great achievement. So yeah, this is your message group 3, which is absolutely beautiful. So I think we've definitely nailed down that it's definitely something to do with healing, okay? So take these strengths and really see how you can implement that, okay? What step can you take forward to start healing? What really calls to you? And ask for clarity if you're not sure, but this is definitely a confirmation and a catalyst that this is what you're meant to do. And this is beautiful. So I would love to hear down below if medicine or healing has always called to you, and if there's anything that you have in mind of, okay, this is the right way to go. I would love to hear if you already know what that is. So yeah, definitely leave me a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, group 4, welcome to your reading. Okay, so the first cards are gonna tell me your strengths. So this will kind of help us see maybe what the best career option would be for you. And then just some more information around that, some guidance from your ancestors, and then some last, anything else Spirit wants you to know. And then I'll pull some cards live to just get some last messages. So let's jump straight into it and see what your strengths are. We have the Mystic. Revels in intimate union with the divine. Wow. So definitely you have a strength of that third eye, right? You're very connected to spirit and to divine, right? So yeah, so definitely something spiritual for sure. I'm already getting. Gambler, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Oh yeah. You follow your intuition, right? And you don't care what people think, because you are so connected to spirit and source, aka connected to self, which is higher self. Because you're so connected to higher self, you don't feel like you have to fit in, right? You don't feel like you have to go a traditional way. You don't care what others think, because you know the truth. You know your inner truth. Ooh, that's a beautiful strength. And then we have Mother. Nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life. Yeah, probably because you are so connected with spirit. you birth a lot of beautiful things, right? And plus you have a very nurturing, connective energy. Ooh, so it's definitely something to do spiritually, where you follow your intuition and you help people kind of maybe help people feel nurtured, right? Or help people see things clearly is almost what I'm getting. Like, help people see the truth, because you have like this kind of person who's blind, right? Has like the blindfold on. And so it's almost like you help guide people out of that darkness and you help them take off the blindfold. And because you have such a nurturing energy, people are very drawn to that and people feel safe listening to your guidance. And then we have victim. Prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. Yeah, exactly. Because you're so in touch with, I mean, again, spirit. Like you have this very strong connection to spirit. And because of that, you don't allow yourself to fall into the victim mindset, which can be very limiting, right? And very detrimental, very painful. And so you don't allow yourself to fall into that mindset, which is beautiful. Yeah, look at these strengths, you guys. It's for sure something to do with spirituality, because spirituality is all about freedom, right? It's all about being able to kind of express and follow that intuition. So let's see what else they have to say about this. We have magical map shifter. Oh yeah, that fits in perfectly. Mystic, right? Like just being able to shift people's perspectives. That's like really what it is. Like you're able, so you could be interested in something like this, right? Like tarot reading or guiding, right? Some kind of like life coach guidance. Something about helping people take off the blindfold is what you're meant to do, to help people see the truth of things, right? You shift things. That's what it is. Oh, that's so cool. And then we have peaks of joy. Yeah, look at that. I think being able to use these strengths brings you a lot of joy. And what I'm kind of getting is, I feel like for some of you, you're kind of dabbling in this, but not quite, right? You haven't quite embraced this yet. And so this is kind of just a confirmation about, instead of peaks of joy, it's going to be like all joy if you choose to follow this 100%, right? And then we have unexpected visitors. Interesting. Okay, so you could be getting some insights from spirit, right? Or from some other powerful beings. Honestly, the first thing that came into my mind is like, if you're watching this currently, when I post it, you don't have to be, this is a timeless reading, but like the Palladian portal is like very strong right now, right? So you could be getting some insights on some messages, or just on maybe ways to help people take off the mask, right? I'm just kind of, that's the first thing that came to mind, is unexpected visitors, right? I think you just may get some kind of intuition downloads, or kind of some guidance directly from spirit or your spiritual team, or like, yeah, the Pleiadians, or just kind of other beings that are gonna open like kind of this other door, and you're gonna be like, hello? I mean, you won't be surprised, because again, your third eye has always been open. You've always been very connected to kind of this, to spirit, right? You've always been connected to this higher power. And so I don't think you'll be surprised, but I think you are curious, right? I think you'll be like, and it will kind of just open a new door of knowledge, a new door. Another thing, for some reason, that I just heard is like Akashic records. So if you've never experienced that before, that could be something that might have something to do with this. Because when I look at this door, it's almost like you're gonna open the door to the Akashic records and be like, should I go in here? All right, let's do it. Right? That came to mind. So that could be just for some of you. So just take it as it resonates. But something about knowledge that I think is going to be shared with you on how to kind of help people take off this mask, this blindfold. What's so powerful about that too is the time that we're in right now, right? The age of Aquarius, right? People are starting to awaken. People are starting to follow what they're meant to do, starting to follow their bliss, right? And so you're gonna be a part of that movement, right? You're gonna be a catalyst for helping people take off that blindfold. I love it. Coming apart. Oh yes. Look at that card. Do you see the masks? That's exactly what you're doing, right? Like coming apart, like you're helping people take off the mask. You're helping people take off the blindfold. That's what you're here to do. That's what you're meant to do in your career. So I guess kind of looking at this from a career perspective, I mean, I think it's about being an entrepreneur, right? It's about, in the sense that it's about working for yourself. It's about offering kind of whatever services that you offer to help people see the truth, to help people see clearly. Because you're helping people remove the ego mask. You're helping people remove the mask that they're hiding, you know, behind. Like, that is amazing. Okay, let's see some guidance from your ancestors on this. You had 5 cards. Set your sights higher, stargazer. Okay, so maybe whatever you've been doing right now, and because like I said, I think some of you are kind of doing this, but not like haven't put your full like heart into it. And so maybe it's like manifesting too, like to have things come to light, right? Or to have things come your way, the support that you need to move forward. But it's set your sights higher. Okay, so whatever you're like, okay, yeah, I've kind of thought about doing this, set it higher. Because you have to realize that the gifts that you possess such a unique ability to see things clearly. You see the truth clearly. Thus, you can communicate the truth clearly to other people. And you can help them see the truth. With the moonstone too, it's manifestation. That's just kind of what I got with that card, is you can manifest knowledge, help, whatever you need to kind of set what you feel like you need to set those sights higher, right? Maybe it's, you know, abundance, different things to allow you to really step into this. Star ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. Exactly, right? Like, I mean, 2 star cards too. Like, yeah, it's interesting that I said the Pleiades, because I think Spirit's kind of pushing you to communicate with these kind of higher beings, these higher levels of consciousness, because with this ability to see clearly, you'll be able to see exactly what they need you to communicate. And so it's like follow kind of those intuitions, or follow kind of those desires, and start really what's the word I'm looking for? Like, start falling into that, basically, right? Flowing with it. And then we have trader, exchange energy to create abundance. Exchange energy in the sense of help other people, and it will create abundance for you. Because yeah, when you're helping people take off that blindfold, of course it's going to bring in abundance to you, because you're living in your soul purpose, right? You're living in alignment. So abundance is going to come to you because you're doing exactly what you need to do with your energy. Your energy is a service, right? So however you choose to kind of use your energy to help people take off the blindfold, it's going to bring you abundance. Okay, so if you already haven't, that's why I kind of said entrepreneur, right? If you're not working for yourself, Spirit is encouraging you to manifest what you need to put yourself in that position, because it's what you need. You need the freedom, you need the ability to speak the truth, because the truth is not going to be accepted in a lot of traditional ways, right? I think you obviously know that from being so connected to Spirit. So yeah, that's what I'm getting with that. And then we have broken arrow, embrace the energy of peace. Exactly. You want to be in an environment that makes you feel at peace, right? That allows your energy to be at peace. And see, right now, I don't think a lot of you are in this right now. And so that's why, you know, this is definitely a confirmation that Spirit is saying you want to move into a peaceful energy, because it's putting you in alignment with what you need to do. And then we have dream and journey. Exactly. Dream and journey, manifestation. I don't know why that's coming through so clearly. I think because, you know, there might be a fear where it's like, I've been trying to do this as a career, but it's not working. And so that's why Spirit is saying help. Ask for help. Unexpected visitors, right? Like Akashic records, Pleiades, like whatever calls to you, manifest what you want, okay? Make your dreams kind of your reality. Beautiful. Okay, let's see what else we got. We have unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, so I think why, maybe this hasn't been fully integrated yet is because you have been healing a lot, right? You've kind of been, I think, releasing old patterns or kind of old ideas, or maybe you've been removing some of these kind of masks yourself. Even though your third eye has been open most of your life, we still get caught up in the human aspects, right? And so you've done a lot of kind of healing, right? And you've done a lot of, it's almost like you've been able to almost clear, this is kind of what I'm getting, you've almost been able to clear the connection with you and kind of your what am I trying to say? Your galactic ancestors. There's the word I'm looking for. For you guys specifically, if you haven't seen my messages from your galactic ancestors yet, I'll put it up here if you haven't seen it, because I feel like there could be messages that might just help you in that reading, because there's a lot, your ancestors are very present here, especially like galactic. There's a lot of galactic energy here. Wow, that's beautiful. And then we have star bathing, light body crystal grid, transmission activation. Okay, so activation, unexpected visitors. Yeah, something is gonna happen. Something just with cosmic, okay, we're talking cosmic. Something is going to appear to you that is going to give you everything you need. Again, activation. It's activating your gifts, because now is the time. These gifts have always been active, but now they're being like flared up, right? Because now is the time. So if you're watching this, this is definitely a confirmation. It's time. It's time to step into what you're meant to do. Pull the mask off, people. That's what you're meant to do. Oh my gosh. Star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. Bitch. Oh my God. I can't stop thinking about the Akashic records. I think there's something in there that you guys are meant to access, which is really interesting, because we have, it's kind of hard to see, but we have Thoth right here, which is, the kind of guardian of wisdom, right? In a lot of different cultures. And so that's kind of where a lot of the hidden knowledge is in the Akashic records. And that's why I'm just getting that for some reason, because we have star ancestors now here in 2 places. So I think there's a lot of hidden knowledge that's available to you. And so if Akashic records doesn't resonate, definitely think about how you can unlock knowledge. And that may be, again, like something cosmic coming to you to provide this knowledge. But I really do think for a majority of you, because that word keeps coming up for me, I think for a majority of you, it is accessing the Akashic records. And if you're not sure how to do that, there's tons of meditations available online to kind of help you get in that space. So, but yeah, definitely something cosmic, because we have 2 star ancestor cards here, which is beautiful. Lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. Hidden secrets. Okay, hidden behind a door. Love it. Okay, let's see if there's anything else basically Spirit wants you to know about this. Okay. Okay. Last messages, Spirit. Your spiritual team is talking. The other groups, it took a minute to kind of get those cards out, but not you guys. All right, this is the first card that came out. It is Great Achievement. So yeah, what I think as you're following this, it's going to bring you a lot of abundance, right? Which we have right here with the Trader. So this is what you're meant to do. This is a confirmation. This is what you're meant to do. Because you have these unique gifts, which is really beautiful. You just have the ability to help people see the truth. Not everyone can do that. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. New beginnings. Yeah, it's time for something new, okay? Something is going to spark. This unexpected visitor or something. I don't even think it has to be a visitor. I just think something unexpected that you wouldn't expect is going to happen. And it's going to kind of blow it up, right? Where it's going to give you all of a sudden that intuition, that knowledge, whatever you need to kind of get yourself into this spot where you can fully be embodying this. New beginnings. And then we have the healing light spirit. Yeah, so spirit has been working to help you heal your energy where it's needed to be healed so that you can have the space to accept this new knowledge. That's what I'm getting with that card. Spirit's been working really closely with you to get this to happen, okay? Maybe even manifested that, but Spirit's been working really hard to get your energy, to get energetic space. That's what I'm hearing. And then the last card we have is discovery. You're gonna discover some knowledge, dude. Like, you're going to discover some knowledge, okay? You're gonna discover something amazing. So be ready for that and be open to whatever it is. But it's almost like seeking it out, though. I think unexpected visitors, like, I really do think for the majority of you, it's you seeking out the knowledge. And that's why I say Akashic Records. But you could even just kind of ask, you know, a specific like star, you know, family or ancestor or system for guidance as well for this knowledge, however you feel called to do it. But you need to set out the intention to discover, because again, we have intention up here. So set the intention to discover the knowledge that you need to move forward, because that's what you need. That's the only thing you're missing right now, is the knowledge. There's some hidden knowledge, some powerful hidden knowledge that is going to help you with this. That is so beautiful, group 4. Definitely let me know what you guys think of this down below. I'd love to hear, you know, what you're already doing with this, or what kind of you're being called to, and what you think about this hidden knowledge, because that is beautiful, having that come through. I can't stop looking at this card. It just is really speaking to me, because it's yeah, you're gonna be like, hello, because it's gonna be kind of new and like different, but it's gonna be like, but all of a sudden you're gonna get everything you need to do. Beautiful. Leave me a like and a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video.